can you share a little bit about what it was like when you were working on the Unstoppable Domains product and mission, like early on, and some of those biggest challenges to get to the point where we're at today?
Well, we've had a lot of challenges over the past several years. I think that's one of the core things you got to remember as a founder in any space. Like, it's not one thing; it's 1,000 things that you got to get right every day. Wake up, and put in the work. If you look at us very early, we knew that we had to get a first use case out the door. And we knew that you needed to have an NFT domain for your crypto payments. And we, that's still a thing that we emphasize to people, along with using it as your ID on your social handles. That also evolved later. But figuring out what those first use cases are, explaining those to users, explaining those to partners, and then giving the vision of how you can build towards much more value over time. Those are the things you have to just continuously communicate when you're early. And I would say that like the biggest impact for me is just crypto communities are great at communicating customer feedback. Like, you get way more customer feedback, sometimes negative, sometimes positive, right? But it's there, and that's super useful for founders. So if you're building in this space, you'll know what your customers want pretty quick. Also, the scale of what we're trying to do in the crypto industry is just so large, and that's a big part of what keeps me going, because we really are trying to touch every person on the planet with an internet connection, right? And so as a founder, it's hard to find a better industry to work in. You find an industry where the customers are super engaged. They want to talk to you all the time, tell you about how you're doing. And then the scale of what you're achieving is actually global impact. So people looking to do big things, I highly suggest checking out Web3 and crypto market. And then specific to this round, I think like the big flag here, like the signal that we're trying to do is we're making this push now, right? We're not just going to be another one of these NFT collectibles that are out there in the market. Like, we really are going to be a core piece of your identity online. And we're hopeful that by doing that, we're going to solve some of the biggest challenges that we have on the internet. And those challenges are really around ownership and reputation, at least from Unstoppable Domains perspective. And, like having that consistent NFT domain on Twitter and having that same NFT domain when you're on Reddit, or having that same profile information when you sign on to Amazon and then you sign on to go shopping at Target. This is the future we're talking here. That's going to make your internet experiences better, because you'll be able to take your data and your reputation with you. When you take your reputation along, that'll mean other people can have higher trust interactions with you online. You can't just scam somebody on eBay and then move over and scam them again on Amazon, right? Because they'll see that you scammed people before. And then if I'm just having a shopping experience and I'm trying to move from Target to Walmart, just not having to re-input, the SSO, not having to re-input my address, not having to re-input my shoe size, that type of experience is big for us. So Unstoppable Domains is really about utility over speculation, and building out this primitive use case. And you can see that our partnership here with Pantera, and then really getting deep into the ecosystem and all these other different places to really build out the utility, is what we're pushing for over the next several years.
Yeah, it sounds like that Series A, that funding is just, it opens up the world of possibilities. From you as a startup, you have to get that first use case and you have to find that fit, but now we can expand into all the product ideas that we have and really solidify it as a tool with tons of utility. I think so many people still think of NFT domains as the simplifying crypto payments, but what I'm hearing for you is, we've talked about this on the pod before, is it's so much, it can be so much more, and we're building that out now.
Yeah. And it's helpful, right? Especially for partners in the space, to be able to point to a milestone funding round and strong backing. This is one of the advantages of being valley located or close to, right? Proximate, because it really is all about the contacts. And I think that what Pantera is building is substantial and will continue to drive a huge utility for all the startups in their ecosystem going forward. Because if you're a crypto company, you want to be at a place that has those other contacts as well.
Yeah. And Paul, like for you, what is the significance of like a unicorn status? I mean, I think I see it as it's a headline catcher, right? But do you look at that as meaningful around a milestone when investing in startups?
Yeah, I think it's a milestone for sure. I know that Matt and I would agree that it's a great milestone, but it's not the end goal. The end goal really is the disruption. The end goal is hopefully multiples above this unicorn status. But it's tough to get to the unicorn status. It really is. You could take a look at right now. I think we have maybe like 60 or 70 unicorns in the blockchain space. But imagine how many companies have gone through and have failed in this space. So, it's good validation. I think as Matt mentioned, I mean, the amount of capital, the valuation just sends a good signal for partners out there saying that these guys are going to be around for a while. These guys have done well. They've done their customers well. They have the validation. It seems like they're going to have some longevity, and that's good for some of these partners. I mean, the developers, of course, they care about that, but especially as we start getting into larger enterprise customers and institutional investors, I mean, it just means a bit more. And I think this round really is a nice combination where I think we can provide so much value to them right now, in the short and medium term, because they really do want to go out there and really just proliferate across Web3. And it also includes folks that come from sort of traditional VC side of things to really help complement as we start thinking about a larger vision around sort of identity, around payments, et cetera. So, I think this is big all around, really just, putting together all of the right pieces, putting together, what is sort of needed from the partnership side, which is probably the most important thing right now.
You're listening to the Unstoppable Podcast, the go-to place for everyone to learn about the latest innovations in Web3, NFTs, and the decentralized web. Welcome to the metaverse.